weren't recording. Crap.
Oh.
Sorry about that. I thought I hit that.
Okay.
We're live, but we weren't recording. Hello out there, everyone in recording land who just missed the first 9 minutes of our Trump segment. Sorry about that. I thought I had it on, but I didn't. So anyway, Trump enacted tariffs short of the stock market, got rich, but a lot of people lost their nest eggs. He's a dick. Adam Schiff is trying to do something about it. That was mostly what you missed, except for me complaining about bullshit that happened today. And Trump and Dan talking about I didn't say that. And Dan talking about his friends of the wrestling promotion and RVA. Do you want to show him your shirt again?
Yeah, there you go.
RVA Pro Wrestling.
We also did something about the secrets of eternal life and making unlimited money. And,
they don't care about that.
Perpetual motion source will also power our planet and allow us to make contact with alien life forms. Yeah. But other than that, not much.
That's about all you missed.
That's fine. Yeah, nothing changed the world.
So, and I was in the middle of talking about the Kilmar Garcia release and return when I realized that. There are judge's orders out there saying that he needs to be returned. Trump is now saying, yes, he's alive, but there is no proof. I want proof. I want video.
Alive, I say so, look. Aren't you there?
Just alive.
I didn't
They're taking very good care of him. It's a very nice prison complex where all they do is torture people.
Aren't you here?
Bad people, and it's just a little bit of torture.
Aren't you here? It's a, see, I'm here, Senor Trump. See.
So yeah,
he's good.
We can. Okay, so I saw something interesting on the internet. An interesting comparison that apparently we can fly the Tate brothers home from Romania, but we can't get this guy out of El Salvador, despite the fact that Kristi Noem, puppy killer extraordinaire, managed to fly down there and take a very illegal photo with a bunch of human beings that looked like they're packed in the bowels of a slave ship, quite frankly. It's disturbing how heavily packed they are in those places. It's not okay. None of this is okay. You're all fucked up. Stop doing it.
Let's say they're the worst criminals on the face of the earth. Okay, fine. But they're still human beings, and it speaks badly upon us that we film ourselves and people living in those even again, the worst persons in the world living in those kind of deplorable conditions in order to prop us up as some sort of to elevate our quote-unquote badassery in the world.
You know what? It felt like one of those really screwed up big game hunter photos, where it's like, the rich people go into the preserves where the animals can't get out and shoot them, and then they take a picture of them. Like our president's idiot sons shooting elephants. I'm not going to... I really want to go off on a tirade about elephants because I love elephants and they're awesome. And, why you shouldn't shoot them. But I won't, because we've got other stuff to talk about.
Yeah. We're trying to stay on target, kids. We really are.
Yes, we are. We're not good at it.
We got a lot of wrestling to cover. So.
Yes. Oh, my God. All right. Linda McMahon thinks that Sims need A1 sauce on their shit in order to make them learn better. I don't know what Linda McMahon was smoking, but she meant AI, and we do not need more AI in the classroom. We need to actually pay teachers.
I haven't been big on A1 sauce being a lifelong staple for myself.
Like, if you need to turn to A1, you mess up the steak.
Yeah.
You horrible person. Yeah. What the hell is wrong with you?
You're trying to save what's left of dinner.
And she's also warning of funding cuts if people don't play nice about all of the DEI crap that the Trump administration has been pulling. She's pretty serious about funding cuts. So, yeah, unless you fire all your black and women teachers, your kid's not going to have a special education class to go to, and they're going to fail miserably. Congratulations. There's nothing else to say about this. It's idiotic.
I have one thing I like to say about the Department of Education being dismantled. It's like, I guess people say the Department of Education hasn't worked since it was implemented as its own autonomous institution in 1979. Our our educational system has gone downhole, down the trap. So, okay, my response to this is I tend to think that a lot of these things have happened because we don't have standards across the board that play everywhere at the same place. It's like, a lot of it's done upon
It's like there's so many people who are eager to upset the game board in favor of their own desires. Like people who are like have their thumb on the scale in order to like push like charter education and shit like that.
Yeah, you don't get like I believe all you're doing is just redelegating like power over to private corporations and people that can afford education for their children, and rather than like anybody that can send their kid to a charter school or can afford to have them homeschooled or afford to send them to a private institution are fine. Everybody else is in varying sliding scale degrees of screwed.
Yeah,
I don't believe getting rid of the Department of Education solves anything, and if anything, it creates more problems.
It's like it's not usually helpful to eliminate, an organization that is entirely set up to stabilize a huge sector of American life. Usually, it's better to give them more resources so that they may actually be able to do their job. It's a terrible idea. It's really a terrible idea. Okay, protests. Was it Saturday?
Yeah, we missed it, guys.
I was recovering from surgery. Yeah, I know. So there was, oh my God, it was a huge turnout. It was probably a couple million people across the country turned out.
Tens of half dozens.
Yes. In major cities and small cities. I know we had one here locally. We also had another protest a couple of days before that. On Thursday, it turned out the day that I was going to get my surgery. There was a protest at UPMC, at least hours, if not multiple ones, talking about gender affirming care, trying to get gender affirming care continue to be treated by UPMC. It's disturbing that this is hitting so close to home. But like the 50-51 protest, the hands off protest, that's it. It was just a huge coming together. And you know what? We need to see more of that. Like, it may not have accomplished anything material, but the fact that that many people came together in the United States, we are...
This is good, folks. Bye.
Okay. I don't know why it's not coming on. Anyway, the hands-off protest, it was like, in this country, it is kind of a pain in the ass how fractured we are and how much we apply purity tests to just everything imaginable. So it was a really nice first step at coming together to say, okay, so our views may be different, but we're all here to say stop. We're all here to stand together. And we need more of that. We need more unity in American politics on the non-evil side. I'm going to put it that way. Because, come on. Skeletors out here are like, I voted third party. I knew it was going to happen. Skeletor voted for RFK.
Yeah.
But, yeah. So good job on the protest, everybody. The next one is coming up this Saturday or next Saturday. I can't remember, but there's another one coming up this month. Try to get out if you can. We're going to try and get out there if we can. It'll be great. Presidential actions destroying regulations. On April 9th, the president made like 20 presidential actions. They weren't official executive orders, but a lot of them were on destroying regulation. because God knows the Republicans love to destroy regulation in this country. They want us all to eat spoiled meat and drink spoiled water and breathe air with fumes in it and die horribly.
Choke on bear farts. Right, people. I refuse to choke on bear farts.
Okay. Let's get to the wrestling. All right. So.
Bear farts.
Okay.
Smokey the Bear's an asshole.
Wasn't Smokey the Bear kind of like didn't it start out as being kind of questionably anti-Native American?
I don't know.
I don't know. So I'm online a lot. I'm on Facebook and sometimes Twitter and sometimes Facebook. And I read something about how some Native Americans felt disrespected by Smokey the Bear because they knew how to manage their lands and white people didn't. And I don't know. If you've heard that, leave it in the comments because I'm curious. Native American people, help me out here. I'm actually very curious about this. All right.
Did we lose our one viewer?
We didn't have a viewer.
Well, who was the one viewer from the last couple?
It was probably Kevin.
Oh, okay.
Come back, Kevin!
Come back!
We need you. Nobody else wants to watch us. Okay, so... WrestleMania is this weekend. We are doing a big WrestleMania live stream, at least on Saturday night. Hopefully Sunday, but it's kind of a play it by ear. We are not doing NXT. We are not doing any of the other events. But we're going to talk about it today. And we also have an announcement. Starting the next couple of weeks, we're going to be doing a supplemental episode. It might not be quite as long as Monday's episodes, but we're going to try to do it Friday, I guess.
Yes.
Oh, sorry.
Now I've got to get nose surgery. Thanks.
I was going to try to stick in your mouth. But we're going to try and do a wrestling supplemental show on Friday afternoons. And but not starting this Friday because we're going to be doing all of our WrestleMania stuff today.
Yeah.
But so that'll be fun, hopefully. And we can talk about. We watch a lot of WWE. We watch a lot of classic WWE. In fact, I've been marathoning old WrestleManias.
Every year we get to about somewhere between 1997 and 2002.
Yeah. I got to WrestleMania 13, which will have Bearing coming up here. And so anyway, okay, WrestleMania. We're going to talk matches. We're going to talk WrestleMania.
Where do you want to start?
We're going to talk about how it's less fun than the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
It's less fun than the Royal Rumble.
It is less fun than the Royal Rumble.
It's just, it's bloated, but not in the right ways. It would be better if they would bring back the Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. Because then a lot more people would get, because they could have the men's on one night and the women's on another night. And a bunch of more people would be able to participate in WrestleMania. And that's super fun. And the thing about Royal Rumble that I love, that I think is fun, is that not only does everybody get a little spot, but you get to see people interact who don't normally interact. People from different brands, sometimes NXT, sometimes from outside the company, but just people who don't normally get to interact, get to do something together sometimes. And that's kind of cool, I like that, bringing together people from all across the company. And getting them to interact. What do you think, Dan?
Basically, along with the same things that Sue was saying, I've been a fan of the Royal Rumble way more years than WrestleMania. I feel this year is no exception. If nothing else, WrestleMania this year is. There's no overlying. I guess with the Cody Rhodes trying to get the world title, that was the main event, and they broke it up into day 1 and day 2. I don't think it needs to be 2 days. I feel like you can break it down to 1 day and have it be maybe a 3 to 5 hour program. at this point, I find Survivor Series more interesting. I find Money in the Bank more interesting. I find Elimination Chamber more interesting. I feel like there's an overlying theme to it, and I feel that since they're not as bloated and as huge as WrestleMania, you kind of have to like contain the narrative. It's like, again, since you don't have a distinct main event, this is it. I guess you would say it's Cena versus Rhodes.
I guess that would be the ultimate part.
But again, there's so many. It's not, I would say the perfect WrestleMania was WrestleMania 17. That is like it started off at the opening matches, built itself up until you get to the main event, and I know some people would disagree on what the finish was and where it led, but I think to me that's like the perfect structuring of a WrestleMania. The ones now, it's just like everything has to be when everything to
spectacle.
Well, I'm saying, but to paraphrase Syndrome and The Incredibles, when everything's a main event, nothing's a main event.
Yeah, that's a good point. Yeah. So it's not our favorite time of year. Royal Rumble is our favorite time of year. It's so much fun.
Mm.
You never know what's going to happen. You never know who's going to show up. And it's bookended by these two just huge, crazy matches, and that's nice. I like it when everybody gets a spot. I don't like the super exclusive events, to be honest. Plus, it's just fun. It's wacky. People get to come out and who knows what they're going to do. Like my favorite is always the Kofi Kingston moment. He didn't last year, unfortunately, or the last Royal Rumble. He didn't, unfortunately, but it's always one of my favorites. Like, what's Kofi going to do this year? Chelsea Green also has become one of my favorites in the Royal Rumble. She is hilarious. Chelsea Green is just a great physical comedian. I love her.
I would also say the Royal Rumble, and certain others to a lesser degree have a greater degree of audience participation in it than WrestleMania does. From people calling out when the countdown goes on to their reactions to when certain people come out and interactions with that. I tend to think that the audience participation on the Rumble is way higher, way more interesting than WrestleMania.
Yeah, it feels like everybody's having more fun at the Rumble than they do at WrestleMania, including us.
Yeah, one feels like I guess with all the pomp and circumstance and story, it feels like wrestling's Oscars, and I don't like the Oscars either. So it's like I feel like it's way too built up.
WrestleMania time. I'm going to wrestle in my best talks.
Yeah. I think also that
was a spot on rock impression. What are you saying?
Yeah, I don't enjoy watching the Oscars or any of the, I guess, award ceremonies, and I feel like it's WrestleMania, especially with the way they build it up, has a very self-congratulatory element to it.
It does. That's part of the reason why I don't like watching award shows. It's very, well, you say self-congratulatory, I say circle jerk.
Yeah.
Basically the same thing.
Yeah.
But there are, and this year...
How about institutional masturbation?
Oh, that's a good one.
Okay.
Yes. Very nice. All right, so let's get into the matches here. And, saying all that, yes, WrestleMania is fun. It's just so much. Oh, my God. It does not need to be 8 hours.
No.
But night one, starting at 7 p.m. on Saturday, April 19th.
Christ.
These are not in order, I don't think. But triple threat: Rollins, Seth Rollins, Roman Reigns, CM Punk.
Yeah,
been built up. That's probably going to be the main event for night one.
Yeah, it is.
It's been built up for months. Not too bad.
Well, I know. Well, Sue and I are sort of different on the one element of CM Punk. I used to be a CM Punk fan. I'll admit that I was at one point a CM Punk fan, but I think my problem is with many fandoms, it's the fan club to a certain degree that turned me off, and I guess to a certain degree, I grew up a little bit. Like,
Yeah.
CM Punk is like, the way that he does a promo, the way that he puts stuff together, he is the perpetual angry 16-year-old. And I feel like
Holden Caulfield.
Yeah, and I feel
he's every middle-aged whiny man who thinks that the world was against him, who firmly believes that Holden Caulfield is his like soulmate. And I don't like those people.
Like I said, to me, it just feels like the perpetual combination, perpetual 16-year-old. And guys like, I put my time in here. I put my, like, okay, but what have you done lately? Like, you went away for 10 years. And so, like, I'm supposed to think, like, oh, man, you came back like it was just yesterday. Like, again, it was different in 2011 when Punk he had done 5-star matches with Samoa Joe and Ring of Honor. He did his bits on the indie circuit. He did his cup of coffee in TNA. He started off like being brought in by Paul Heyman into ECW, or ECW Light. He did his bit on Raw and SmackDown. He got little brass rings here and there, but he was never the main event seat. It was always the Randy Orton, Edge, John Cena show. And guys like him and Daniel Bryan and Zack Ryder and all guys were getting pushed off to the side. That CM Punk I could get along with, but this is not that CM Punk. This is not that CM Punk of 2005 to 2014. This is CM Punk of 2000, I guess what he had, 23, 24 when he came back, who's been away from the business for 10 years.
Yeah.
That guy went away and the industry moved on without him. And he's acting like he comes in and he immediately gets to go to the front of the line based solely on his name. Yeah. And that's where I'm like, and his fans like, yeah, you definitely do. It's like, and I'm like, no, you don't. There are other guys that have been with the company that haven't had their chance or been under promoted compared to you. I guess like
okay, so my tenure as a wrestling fan has been very sporadic. I used to watch as a kid. I was a Hulkamaniac, much to my now adult shame.
It's gonna be okay.
I know. Macho Man was right there, and he was so much cooler. All right, so I watched it when I was little with my dad and my brother. And then I watched it again in high school. A bunch of my friends got into wrestling. I got back into it when I was in high school. This is 96 through 2000. Probably is like 97 to 2000. My best friend Amy and I, started watching it again. My friend Jim, PD, if you're out there, and Mandy, and a few other of our friends were got into it. So we had a little wrestling community, and I'll talk about China later, but that's when I discovered China, who changed my life. That's a whole tirade. And then I stopped watching it again. In fact, I was engaged to a guy who hated wrestling and basically was like, he was a dick, so nobody could like wrestling if he didn't like it. So I did not watch wrestling for a really long time until Dan and I got together about 5 years ago. And then I started watching around, I'd say probably like 2001, I got started back watching it again. So I never saw CM Punk's first run. So I'm watching him as a person who, like, I've heard a bunch of shit about. People talking about this guy, how he's so great. I don't know anything about him. He comes into the company and does nothing. He didn't even wrestle for a couple of months. I'm just like, but he came out and just did these long, droning, self-aggrandizing promos. I'm like, are you gonna wrestle? And then he was in the Royal Rumble that year for 20 minutes, and he got injured.
So I thought it was like
it was almost 20 minutes.
I was like 14 or 15 or something.
Oh, was it? Oh, and he tore a muscle, and he was out for 6 months. Okay, well, it was quiet. Didn't have to deal with any more long ass promos from him. So he comes back,
like SummerSlam,
and it's just I have not seen anything about CM Punk that makes me understand why people have this devotion to him. And I've been very public about this on Facebook. In fact, I had someone block me on Facebook, a fellow artist on Facebook in the comics world, because I don't like CM Punk. He blocked me because I don't like CM Punk. Like, wow, shit, man. You really want to go out like that?
but
So like, yeah, I don't like him. Like, him as a person outside of the ring, he seems like a good guy. Like, I could probably hang out with him. Inside the ring, he's just so, I mean, self-aggrandizing is the only word that comes to mind with this guy. He's just so self-important, and he never shuts up, and he does these long, unending, whining promos. Oh, I hate it. I hate it.
One thing if he was the heel, but he's not.
That's the thing. It would work better if he was a heel.
Yeah.
But he's not. He's just a little whiny bitch who thinks that he's owed something. I don't know what, but he...
Yeah.
And his whole thing with Drew McIntyre really kind of cemented that for me, because I'm a big Drew McIntyre fan. I think Drew McIntyre is awesome and hot. But mostly awesome. He's a good wrestler. He's great on the mic. He's just this wonderful all-around performer. And just having people turn on Drew for this guy who barely wrestles and just does nothing but talk about how great he is, it really kind of turned me off on him, to be honest.
For me, the thing with Drew McIntyre is like, he was billed as the heel, but every time he smells like, I don't think he's wrong. Like,
right? Yes.
Why am I supposed to hate
I mean, he makes a very good heel because he talks about the company and the people in it, and he's just like, says things that, it's hard to really deny when you think about it.
He has an assholeish way to go about it, but like at the end of the day, I'm like, he's not wrong.
He's not wrong.
But I mean, I guess we talk about Punk, it's bad. We talk about the other two components.
Okay, so yeah, we have a lot of CM Punk baggage. Okay, so Seth Rollins, I think, is great. His promo was like, it's an interesting main event because the center of the main event is Paul Heyman.
Yeah.
Not the three guys wrestling. And that is an interesting take. And I liked the promo that Rollins did with Paul Heyman, where he's like, somebody is going to hurt you. These people you claim to care about don't care about you, and they're going to hurt you no matter what corner you're in. So you might as well just let me hurt you now, so that you could avoid the whole thing and you have an excuse. That was an interesting angle. I like that.
I also like that there's a little bit of since he's being torn between Reigns and Punk, that he might actually walk off with the third option and go running off with Rollins. I've heard that running around.
Maybe.
I mean, also on the other end, like Punk being away for 10 years, you also have the other two guys. Reigns has mostly been there, but
ever since he lost the title, it's sort of been like he was gone for a long time, and now he's sort of building back himself.
Yeah.
He won back the family honor, I guess, and he's kind of sort of going out on his own without this huge following, without this faction, and it's been an interesting.
But I mean, at the same time, it's like they're not like, I guess Punk and Rollins aren't wrong about the idea where they bring up like Reigns pre-heel, pre-bloodline, where he was still being touted as the head of the company, but it was like he was Punk's not wrong in the one point that like, when I was gone, they made Rollins and Reigns centerpieces of the two centerpieces of the company, along with Brock Lesnar. The less said about him, the better.
Brock Lesnar,
but
big ugly Neanderthal brow.
But that being
Poor Sable.
that being said, that Reigns, those guys presided in that authority era, and it was hard to watch. I want to say that was one of those periods where I almost stopped watching wrestling altogether. literally like until the point, like Reigns was gone for a little bit while, like 2019, 2020, before he came back and started the whole bloodline thing. And even with the bloodline, it made him kind of like the centerpiece at the detriment of others. I think also I tend to think Rollins when there he has been the workhorse of the group, but at the same
definitely.
time, he's been on the India list a few times.
Yeah.
And moments where he's kind of been like. To me, sometimes I feel like they throw him in when they have a lack of anybody else to throw in as a centerpiece, and he does his job and he does it well. But
it's like he's the least diva-ish of everyone in the group. Like, he's the real workhorse. Like, he will come out and do a match. Like you said, they'll throw him wherever they need him, and he'll do a great job.
Again, I guess getting onto the match itself, I think it'll be good. I think there'll be
good.
Some sort of interesting outcome of the story will happen.
I mean, yeah, like I said, it's all centered around Paul Heyman, so I'm curious to see what'll happen with that. So, who do you think is going to win?
I'm going to go with Rollins.
Really?
I think there's going to be some sort of swerve with Rollins.
I want to see Rollins win against those two, because I think the Seth Rollins is really good. I think that he can out-wrestle both of them put together, quite frankly. But I think they're going to give it to Punk. I don't want to see him give it to Punk, but I think they're going to give it to Punk. I want to see them go to Rollins, but I'm going to put down Punk on my scorecard. And a frowny face. Oh, no, smiley face. And a frowny face with a tongue coming out. Blech. You can't see that. All right. The next we have the Wait, I dropped my pen. The World Heavyweight Championship. Gunther versus Jey Uso. I mean, Jay's been built up pretty strong.
I partially disagree. I mean, long term, yes, but I feel I feel since the Royal Rumble win, it's been hot, it's been cold, it's been hot, it's been cold.
It kind of has been, yeah. He's been trying, though. Like, you gotta give the guy credit.
And it's not all them underselling Jay as the contender, but also not building Gunther properly the way they did with the Intercontinental Championship. I feel like, again, they kind of they bring him out every once in a while.
Yeah, it feels like he hasn't really defended his title as much now as the World Heavyweight Champ as he did with the ITC title. But like, he was out almost every episode defending. He was, out doing promos and stuff, and it feels like he's kind of an afterthought.
Some of that is also not Gunther's fault. Where if you go to,
I don't think any of it's Gunther's fault.
Well, I think if you go to SmackDown, Cody Rhodes is the main event. Cody Rhodes is the WWE champion. He is the guy. Where if you go over to Raw, it's Punk, it's Rollins, it's when Reigns shows up, it's Reigns. Whenever you have, if Cena comes on there, it's Cena. If Cody wants to guest star, it's Cody. Gunther is sometimes not even on the show at all.
He's underbooked so they can bring in better names.
He's the world champion on Raw.
Yeah.
And he should be sold as the world champion of Raw.
And they did the same thing with Io Sky. We'll get to Io Sky later. But they get to do the same thing with Io Sky. Like, they underbook her. Yeah. It seems like... Anyway. Gunther is amazing.
No, that's not the same. I don't think Gunther is.
Oh, no. We share that belief that Gunther is just... Gunther is like the... Boy, what do I want to say?
We used the word workhorse before, but I can't
yeah. But I was going to say just his... I want to say he's like the Bret Hart of the current generation of wrestlers. He's close.
I'd say he's kind of a throwback in a way. To
a little bit of throwback.
In terms of, I would say even going back to the territory systems and, somebody...
You know what? Yeah, I can see that.
Some guy that, he feels like something out of the AWA in the 1970s. Mm-hmm. Somebody that would challenge, either Nick Bockwinkel or I'm trying to remember the guy who was that founded the organization. Not Greg Gagne. Vern Gagne. Would challenge one of those guys and maybe get a short medium run. He to me seems like a Vern Gagne wet dream. In terms of wrestlers that guy liked. But not in the way that so scientific and so, not entirely too scientific and too catch wrestling style to where it's boring. There's a bit of like striking and there's a bit of
he is a master of the titty slap.
Yeah, a bit of action style masochism that makes him
very much so.
Yeah, he's in tune with the modern day. Like like Sue said, he is the master of the male titty slap. It's like it looks like it hurts. It sounds like it sounds like it hurts. If he gets a guy that will let him go as far as he wants to go, it looks brutal.
Yes, and their chest is red and sometimes bleeding. Oh,
man. Stuff he did with Ilya Dragunov over in NXT UK.
Yeah.
Savage. Like, and when given the proper leeway and the right opponent, Gunther delivers. Now, will Jey Uso be that proper opponent? I don't
know. I don't think it's going to be that good of a match. I mean, I think Jey Uso is good. Gunther is definitely good. I think it's going to flop. Yeah. To be honest, I'm not looking forward to it. Yeah, which is sad because I've been enjoying Jey Uso's run. I love Gunther. I don't know.
I know they're trying to put it just like they want to build Jey up, and that's fine.
Yeah, that's great.
I'm not sure that this is a great match as opponents, as diametric forces opposing each other.
No. I mean, I think they'll work well together. They're both good workers.
It'll be fine. Jey will have his moment.
There's no real story there.
I thought the last promo built it back up a little bit. That's why I say it's going hot and cold sometimes. Like the promo is like, whatever. And sometimes like, that person. Again, it's not a constant escalation to like, and the point which will be the match itself. I don't know.
The whole torture thing didn't really land.
I see what they were trying to do, but
I know. I don't think it landed.
So who are your picks for this one?
I think they're going to give it to Jey. They've been really pushing him hard. They've been building him up, and like I said, they've been kind of burying Gunther a lot of times. So I think they're going to give it to Jey.
I do too. I think they want as much as. I like Gunther as much as a lot of, like, I guess what they call, like, smart marks.
Purists, Western purists, like him for his style.
Fans love Gunther. They want somebody that they feel
can run. The seats.
Yeah, can put, and they
want a whole stadium of people going yeet.
And buying T-shirts.
And buying T-shirts. And merch. And Gunther, he's like a wrestler's wrestler kind of guy. He doesn't have that kind of populist appeal.
I think at this point too, Gunther's basically been wrestling pretty nonstop for a while. Either that is Intercontinental Champion over NXT. He probably just kind of wants like a 3 or 6 month break at this point, and then come back. Yeah. I don't see it being like he'll go away. I see him coming back. I would love to see him actually. I guess he did challenge in Saudi Arabia with Cody Rhodes and Cody Webb, but I actually wouldn't mind him giving a more legit world title run than he's had with this one. I
that would be great, or even like a rubber series with Cody Rhodes, somebody so he can show that yes he can be on the stage, to really show that he can carry that belt, that title. Yeah. All right, Women's World Championship, Flair versus Stratton. I really don't like Charlotte Flair. She annoys the shit out of me, the absolute fucking hell out of me. I cannot fucking stand her. I don't like it when some fucking Nepo baby walks in and is like, well, I get what I want because of my name. Ugh.
It would be one more thing if you knew it was just an in-character thing.
But that's the thing. She's a worse politicker than her father is. Let's not beat around the bush here.
And
Charlotte gets what Charlotte wants.
Like they have like the quote unquote WWE women's revolutions. Like we can do everything that the men do, and that includes the negative shit, like politicking.
Mm-hmm.
I would put her up there with Shawn Michaels in the 1990s.
Oh, God, yes.
Hogan during his entire career.
Yes.
Yes. Early years of TNA. Yes. And Triple H during the Reign of Terror.
Absolutely. She is.
I would put Charlotte Flair
as much of a destructive force as any of those people. Mm-hmm. I mean, she came in at... Oh, no, wait, that was... Who was it that took the belt off? No, that was Becky Lynch. I'm sorry. I knew I was the wrong person. Okay, Tiffany Stratton, on the other hand, we've been watching her come on to TNA. We've been watching her since she started on NXT. She is just, God, she is such a natural. She is like the reincarnation of Kurt Angle. This young lady is just, she is the most natural wrestler, performer I have ever seen, since like Kurt Angle. I'm not even like joking. Like
hyperbolic.
Yeah, I'm not being hyperbolic. She is incredible. She performs so well in the ring. She's great on the mic. You can't stop her. She's just incredible, and she's been getting
buried.
Yeah, she's been getting buried. She has the title, and she's been getting buried a little bit more than she should, and she's been getting.
I think both current champions have.
Both women's champions. They have, yes.
I feel Stratton more evident. Like ever since she got the Money in the Bank briefcase, I feel. I guess that was being sold as we're going to push her to her breaking point. She's going to cash it in and win the title. Great. So
yeah, and it was great storytelling. It really was. Yeah, but I think then they kind of just dropped her a lot. She didn't have a lot of steam after that, really, which is a shame because, like, I mean, yes, she's young, but I'm pretty sure she can carry just as heavy a load as, any other woman with that belt would be able to. Any other more seasoned veteran, because she's a fucking natural, absolutely natural. And it's like we've been discussing this match. I think our camera is getting whiter. Are we getting whiter? Oh my God!
Yeah, it was the sun.
Oh, it was the sun. Okay. We've been discussing this match. Now, I don't like Charlotte Flair, but Dan always likes to bring up the fact that Charlotte Flair put in a hell of a good match against Rhea Ripley for the title. 2 years ago? 1 year ago? It was right before she went out.
2 years, because Becky Lynch did it the year after with Rhea. I'll say she did.
And you know
I would say that the Flair Ripley 2 match was better than Ripley and Becky Lynch. It was still good, but I don't think it was quite when
honestly, like
when Charlotte Flair wants to give
over, and they both looked like $1,000,000. Like it was an incredible match. Rhea, of course, is a great competitor. She's an amazing performer, and the fact that Charlotte actually, overcame her tremendous, insane ego in order to make someone else look that good. That's the shocking part of all of this to me. So the question is, with the real life heat that is going on between these two, clearly they do not like each other, which I cannot blame Tiffany Stratton for, because I think that I would have the exact same reaction to dealing with Charlotte Flair in person as she has. So the question is, is Charlotte going to put her over? If Charlotte doesn't put her over, if she doesn't sell, if she acts like a whiny diva, not referencing, previous WWE women's titles that shall not be mentioned. If she doesn't put her over, it's going to be an awful match. If she does put her over, it might actually be really good because Tiffany is excellent.
I mean, some people are saying that this is a work shoot, that this is all being trying to blur the lines of reality. It's kind of similar to McIntyre and Punk. I'm not saying that they like each other or are best buds in real life, but they exaggerated things in order to hype the storyline and build up anticipation. Yeah. And this could be the same with Stratton and Flair, but it's just not. If that is the case, it's not done as well because. Or maybe it's done incredibly well because I mean, I guess in the mechanics of it, but maybe it's done incredibly well because a lot of us think, including me, there seems to be some real life heat there.
Yes, there does.
So maybe it's done well, but again, Flair Flair seems like some sort of drunk middle-aged mom from a Real Housewives.
Yeah, she does, and it's not just the terrible plastic surgery that she keeps getting.
Stratton kind of flubs over her lines a bit. I don't know how much.
I feel like it's just because there's actual heat there. That's why she's doing it.
Intimidation that like Charlotte Flair is Charlotte Flair.
Oh gosh, yeah, I'm sure, and I mean,
and she's
Tiffany is young in the industry. And she could, at her full power, Charlotte could have basically destroyed her career if she wanted to.
Yeah.
So that is a lot of pressure for her, and so it's totally understandable. But
that being said,
it's a hard one to call because we don't know if Charlotte is going to actually do her fucking job for a change, or she's just going to come out and no sell and act like a prick.
Yeah.
But I'm going to choose Tiffany Stratton because I believe in Tiffany Stratton, and I believe if Charlotte wasn't politicking, Tiffany Stratton could actually just kick her ass. What do you think, Dan?
I'm still going with Stratton on this one. I don't see Flair wanting to, like at this point, I think the higher-ups are fine with her being brought in as a short-time thing, but I don't think they have plenty of people now to draw on to be the whole show.
Yeah.
And to build up.
And the women's division has built up with really, really strong.
It's strong enough to where they don't need Flair to hold everything up. And I don't feel that Charlotte Flair is reliable at this point to run the entire women's division.
Definitely is not. Because she'll put herself on top.
Wherever she winds up after the draft.
Let's be honest here. Charlotte Flair is not Bayley, and she's not Natalya. She has no desire, like, every once in a while, like the rematch from a couple of years ago, she'll put someone over, make someone look good. But she has no desire to give back to the wrestling world, which bore her. Okay, she's not Bayley. She's not going to, go out and put younger wrestlers over and work with them. She's not, wait, who else did I say?
Bayley?
Not Bayley, the other one.
Yeah.
I lost my train of thought. The Natalya. She's not Natty. She's not going to come out and, actually, work with newcomers, help them get built up, go out and help them do, in tag matches. She doesn't, Flair doesn't give back.
I'll say this, though, to play devil's advocate and defend Charlotte Flair to a certain degree.
Okay.
Her being in the business is different from Natalya. I tend to think, despite some of the downsides of the Hart family, I think she was raised, in a place of love for the industry, and that she knew she was going to get into the industry at some point, and was given
she was
a clear path where I feel like
she was the only woman to graduate from Stu's Dungeon.
Yeah.
Which kind of sucks considering he had daughters, but but Charlotte, it was like she kind of moved around. She was a model. She wanted to be a volleyball player, apparently.
It was basically Flair's two sons at first, like David Flair. If you watch David Flair, it was never going to happen. And he was just kind of thrown in there for God knows what. Reed was the one that Ric Flair was genuinely believed was going to be the one that was going to take the world by storm. Charlotte, at that point, didn't have any interest in it, and with the advent of the death of her brother, was kind of thrown into it.
Yeah.
And so I think also being what wrestling did to her father, and what not saying that it was cruel to about it, like basically the idea that wrestling to a large degree made her father the way that he was, affected her outlook on the business, and it's not all sunshine and lollipops.
True.
And maybe again, can't get into her mind.
Yeah, but Flair brought some of that on himself too.
Yes. No, I'm not saying it's a blameless thing, but I'm trying to locate pathology. And I think maybe
she was raised to believe in a more cutthroat wrestling world than Natty was.
Yeah, and kill or be killed.
Yeah.
You vigorously defend your spot.
That makes sense.
and not so much of giving back to the industry, and also with the era that she came back when just when the quote unquote WWE Women's Revolution thing was just coming into being, and
yeah.
I think since I saw her both as a woman and as a quote unquote nepo baby, that she had more to prove and with an already sort of competitive uh, component of her personality. Again, this is all
True.
I don't know the mind of Charlotte Flair. This is just me guessing, but I'm not going to say it's all
Bad.
all bad and all wrong on her part. We should all just be like, she doesn't love wrestling.
No, you're right, but she's
But
still
that being
obnoxious.
said,
Like, we're supposed to be
it doesn't make the
moving into a new era where we don't need to be, her attitude in that regard is a little bit of a relic.
it doesn't make the obnoxiousness. It doesn't make the politicking any less annoying or less infuriating to watch as a wrestling fan. I'm trying to not necessarily induce sympathy, quote unquote, sympathy for the devil, sympathy for the devil.
You're trying to
But
present all sides of a
there's
person who came into wrestling at a complex
again,
time.
the only person that can truly
Yeah,
answer
that.
these questions is Charlotte Flair.
Yeah.
And Charlotte, if you want to come on the show, we'll listen.
I'm going to make fun of your facelifts, but we'll listen. It is.
But that being said,
She's 3 years younger than me, and she looks like she's 50.
Yeah.
Okay? Like, I don't make fun of people's looks as a rule, because look at me, I'm ugly. But, oh, I am. But, like, God, she does not look good. She doesn't look healthy.
Well, ugly or beautiful.
It's like
somebody that looks sick. Like,
she does. She doesn't look good.
And a self-imposed sick.
Yes, and I know she's getting divorced for a third time. That's a big deal, you know? It's like maybe she's not in a good headspace.
Yeah.
You know? Like, there's making fun of her, and there's, but I feel like she's having a rough time, and it's kind of written all over her face.
Have your, stellar groove back move. I don't know.
Oh, God. Hide the NXT division, men's division.
Yeah.
All right, so let's move on. The World Tag Championships, the War Raiders versus the New Day. What do you think?
The thing that's happening at Wrestlemania.
I think the War Raiders are going to win. The New Day has not been really built up very strong lately since they went evil.
Yeah, they've just been kind of. We're angry. Look at us. We're disgruntled now. We're disgruntled about being the happy-go-lucky guys and Biggie made us mad.
Oh, that was so mean. Mm-hmm. Oh, my heart hurt for Biggie.
It's like it was a great setup.
It was.
And it literally followed up
brutal, though.
Followed up with nothing.
Yes. Yeah. That's the problem. It's like go heel, go broke, I guess. Who do you think is going to win?
At the same time, what have they really done with the War Raiders either?
They've been back the last few weeks. They've been built up pretty strong.
Maybe, but it's not like
as usual. The tag team is like an afterthought.
Raw's tag team division is probably the weakest of the three. Like, you have some decent champions, but they're not really throwing anything at them. So it's nice to see them. It's kind of like having in the 80s having the Legion of Doom, but not having any tag teams to throw at the Legion of Doom. It's like, oh, you're tough and cool, but who are you going? Where's your Midnight Express? Where's your Rock and Roll Express? Where's your Four Horsemen? Where are all these tag teams? I'm trying. I can't think of any other tag teams that are on there.
Don't look at me. I can't remember who's on each.
A-Town Down Under on SmackDown and Raw. I don't know.
The last time I saw them, they were on NXT. I have no idea what brand they're on.
Yeah, I think they're on.
I got nothing on that one.
As far as I know, they're on. I think they just went over to Raw, but they're having a will they, won't they, whatever moment. Yeah. That makes it back to point. I'm gonna go. I'm gonna throw it on New Day.
All right,
I'm gonna say New Day on this one.
I'm saying the War Raiders, if that wasn't obvious.
Maybe they're doing it to finally give New Day a chance to do something with this storyline.
Yeah, Maybe.
Because
I'm going to turn off that light because the sun's coming in. Give me 1 second, everybody. See if that helps.
a little bit.
All right. All right. So then we have the U.S. Championship match: LA Knight versus Jacob Fatu. I think Jacob Fatu is awesome, but I don't know if they're going to put a belt on him. I honestly don't know how to call this one. What do you think?
I'm going with Jacob Fatu on this one. I feel like maybe they see and recognize what he's getting, even though he's supposed to be a heel and a monster heel at that.
Oh,
he's getting over with the crowd.
Yes, very getting over.
If they're smart,
he's excellent. I think I've been really impressed with him. Out of the whole new bloodline, he's really the guy that's.
I think also that they're building a separation of what's left of this new bloodline with Solo Sikoa and
Tonga.
Tonga.
Yeah,
he really loves that Yoko Ono music.
Like, I really want to see.
He looks almost normal now.
Sort of. Hopefully, by the time Saturday rolls around, I'll get the camera worked out. Yeah. Unless the Streamlabs decides to.
Yeah, with the cosmos, we're becoming one.
Anyway, I honestly don't know, because, like, I honestly don't know. I haven't been keeping up with what's going on with LA Knight. But I don't know how to call this, so I'm going to say I want to see it go to Fatu, so that's going to be my pick.
I see it because I feel like it gives him a power play against Solo Sikoa.
That's, I didn't think about that. That makes sense.
To me, it's more advantageous for the general storyline to give it to Jacob Fatu than to keep it with LA Knight. And with LA Knight, you could do a couple of things, but you could actually maybe turn him heel and go against Cody Rhodes. You can maybe still keep him as a babyface and go against Cody Rhodes. Or just have a series with him and Fatu where he eventually gets the title back at like SummerSlam or Money in the Bank. Again, I wouldn't mind.
Honestly, he's great. He can go in a bunch of different directions. He's, again, excellent performer, excellent on the mic, super over with people. He's been over with people since he became LA Knight.
I wouldn't mind seeing him post Wrestlemania getting a Money in the Bank case to challenge somebody.
That would be fun.
Maybe not move him over to Raw and challenge.
It would be nice to have like that open field for him to kind of go where he feels he needs to go. I think that would be a great idea.
I think it could be also like, not too long after that, the draft usually comes up and they'll throw him over. With him dropping the U.S. title, it leaves him free to be traded to Raw.
That's true too. All right, so we have 2 non-title matches on Saturday, apparently. Rey Mysterio versus El Grande Americano.
Who is that guy?
I don't know. Yeah. I
don't know who he is. But
he's some white guy with a really big helmet.
Yeah.
The latte. Yeah, I'm just gonna start calling him the latte. Yeah. He's a Grande Americano, but he ain't that big. Man, I don't know. The whole, I don't know. American Made, they have not been booked strong at all. They kind of come out.
And the horrible part is they have the components to be
a great match. Yes. In NXT, they were booked super strong when they were still, what were they, Diamond Mine?
Yeah, Diamond Mine. Well, basically,
and they are good performers. They're just kind of they feel a little lost.
I could definitely see the Creed brothers as tag champions. I want to see the Creed brothers as tag champions.
Absolutely, yeah. It might have been a mistake hooking them up with Chad Gable. I don't know.
No, I don't think it's a mistake. I just feel the writing's being done badly. Mm-hmm. I feel Gable should have a run with the Intercontinental belt. I should feel that what's her name should be
Ivy Nile.
Ivy Nile should have a run with the women's Intercontinental belt.
I'd like to see her get it.
I just don't think very much of Valkyria. Like, I feel she is like
fine.
We'll get to her later, but back to the point. I feel like this is a faction that's just getting booked silly when...
Also the LWO. There's 2 factions that are being booked silly and weak. And it's like LWO has a tag team, yet Rey Mysterio and Dragon Lee, who, yes, are both excellent, are going out and doing tag teams. matches instead of the actual tag team in the LWO.
I
And then I got Wrasslemania Vega, who is doing nothing at this point. It's a mess. It's a mess.
There are like what now, like 2, 3 Latin factions or something. Again, I'm not saying like
there's LWO and
there's a quota of racial factions out there. I'm just saying like there's too many people and there's 3 factions. Now,
who's the third one?
I don't know. There's at least 2 factions.
Well, there's LWO, and there's El Fantasma Legado.
Yeah.
Is there a third one from that?
No, I guess I'm thinking they were going to put Rey Fenix and his brother back together.
Oh, that would be a good tag team.
But, yeah, they are a good tag team. They wrestled in.
I've never gotten to see them wrestle together, so that would be really good. That rock's pretty.
I feel in terms of the Latin thing, there's too many people doing the same thing.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
Like I like that they have like a bunch of luchadors. I think that's really cool, but they don't do anything with them. You know,
the factions are the solo guys. It's like
that's it.
Everybody either fits into like the faces are all Rey Mysterio clones or feel like Rey Mysterio clones.
Yeah,
and all the heels feel like Santos Escobar. Like to me, I want like the 2 tag teams feel literally. Was it Berto and Angel? And then on the LWO, it's like they're both good.
I like Joaquin Wilde. I want Joaquin Wilde to get picked up by the AEW and to be a solo act because I think that Cruz del Toro is holding him down. Even though Cruz del Toro the last couple of months has actually looked pretty good in the ring, but Joaquin Wilde I think needs to go solo and he needs to go to a different company so he can have a bit more of a higher profile.
That being said,
anyway, as far as the match, what do you think?
I'm going to say Mysterio wins, unmasks El Grande thing, and they end the storyline.
Kind of hope so. It's a little silly.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with Rey too. I don't know about unmasking, but I don't know. Something's going to happen in the story. We hope. I don't know. I honestly don't care either. It's going to be a mid-card match in the middle when people aren't paying attention and have to go to the bathroom. Another non-title match, which I'm looking forward to, Jade Cargill and Naomi. I've been a big Bianca Belair fan for a long time. The Jade Bianca tag team was pretty good. The Naomi Bianca tag team was awesome. I want to go back to that. I don't care what happens with Jade Cargill. I love Naomi and I love Bianca and I love them together and I want them to go back to being a tag team. And yeah, sorry, Jade.
Is your pick Naomi or is that
I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen.
Is this your dream journal? What's going on?
Yes, I like Naomi and Bianca. I think they make an excellent tag team. But I think that Cargill is going to win.
I also think Cargill is going to win. I feel like Cargill is the one that the WWE has sunk the money into.
They have sunk so much money into, yeah. And they've built up the storyline,
I think it's going to be Cargill winning the match because I feel with her it's shit or get off the pot time.
Yes, she needs to.
Yeah, either do something with her or get rid of her. Like her thing at this point is being a tag team with Bianca Belair, and there's at this point she needs to go solo. We need to see if she can do anything on her own, or if it's a matter of
and
Bianca was carrying her the entire time.
And I think it was a good introduction into the company to tag her up with Bianca.
Yeah.
They worked well together. They were a fine tag team. Yeah, they did fine. They weren't as good as Naomi and Bianca, in my opinion, but they did fine. They were a powerhouse group. It was great.
I see this,
but it's like she did that for a little bit, and then she went out. And now she's back, and like you said, it's shit or get off the pot time. We need to see her perform as her, and not just as a tag team. It's time. It's time for her, and I'm sure she'll be fine. And this is going to be a good match. Naomi is an excellent wrestler. I think they'll be a good match.
I think in the long term, if it winds up Jade winning and they start pushing her, I see her at the very least going up and challenging Chelsea Green for the U.S. Women's title.
Definitely, yes.
I think Green had a good run with it, but I feel at some point they're going to have to get. They're going to get that secondary title.
USA champion Chelsea Green.
I think they're going to have to get like some secondary titles to start moving around, especially the IC one. I feel Chelsea's done good with that, but I am not.
I mean, the one thing that I like about AEW over WWE is that they have lots of titles. There's not like one person who's hoarding all the titles. Well, she's hoarding a few, but it's like there are more chances for more people to have title runs, and I think that's great. All right, so that was night number 1. Night number 2 starts 7 p.m. Sunday, 4/20. Yeah. All right. So the big match, obviously, is going to be Rhodes versus Cena. The Undisputed Championship. Let's talk about John Cena, because I thought... You gotta do the song. Oh my God, just retire already, John Cena. Oh, this whole thing is like, oh, it's John Cena's last time in Toronto. So what? Retire. Get a gold watch. Have a party. It was such a stupid swerve. Okay, we're talking now. All right. So I thought that it was an incredibly stupid swerve at the end of Elimination Chamber to have him go heel. While he's only here for another year, and they want to give him, he's having a title run, a title match. Well, no, I guess it's not. Yeah, it's probably the main event night too. It's just dumb. Just fucking retire John Cena. Oh my God. I don't know. What do you think is going to happen?
My guess at this point is he's going to take the belt.
I'm thinking that too. I think they're going to give him a run with the belt, let him be a heel champ for a little bit.
Cody gets the belt back somewhere between now and Survivor Series. Most likely SummerSlam. And then Cena spirals a little bit further until, I guess, at the end of Survivor Series or his last pay-per-view that he's at. I guess it's going to wind up being, I don't think it's going to be like a series event. You're going to have your WrestleMania where he wins the title, SummerSlam where he loses the title, and then it goes to one last event. Either, I say, Survivor Series, or maybe a little bit before, where he tries for a third time to get the third match, the rubber match, and he gets it back. To try and get it back, he fails, but he realizes that being a heel is bad, and goes out, being cool Cena, either at that Survivor last match or goes on.
Not you, Cena.
Yeah. Again,
I'm bored with the whole thing. I genuinely don't care.
It's fine.
I just want him to retire.
Yeah. I'm interested to a certain degree, but it's not like fine. Okay. I wish Rock had not been involved in the whole thing.
You want to talk about self-aggrandizement? The guy made his own belt and hired someone to give it to him at a pay-per-view event and called it the People's Belt. Yeah. When he, oh my God, I do not like Big Boss Man Rocky. I do not like it. I find him annoying.
He's the final boss. You will say his name with respect.
No, I won't.
You will say it, I guess, for continuity's sake. He's the final boss. I thought that was what's her name, the Japanese wrestler that came in for a little bit on NXT, Miyoki.
Oh, I call her on both.
Yeah.
I'd be happy to do that. She's cool. But yeah, I just don't. I didn't like any of this. I didn't like any of the stuff with Rock being involved. It's fine. Rock's gonna rock.
Yeah.
Not rock. He's gonna be
whether they did it, then there's a question whether he's even gonna be at WrestleMania. Period. It's like,
yeah, which seems weird.
And he hasn't been any part of
this in emotion.
Any part of the promo.
No, he's been absent. I mean,
Cena's been barely involved.
It's Monday at 5. It's going to be a couple of hours before Raw comes on. We also have SmackDown.
And then the Raw and SmackDown.
Who knows if he will be showing up finally, but up until this point in the lead up to WrestleMania, he has not. He's been conspicuously absent, but John Cena and Cody Rhodes have not been.
I think Cena's going to win it.
I think Cena's going to win it too. All right. Well, screw that. Now, okay, a really good match, something that I'm really, really looking forward to. The 3-way women's world championship match between Io Sky, or Io Shirai, as Dan refuses to call her Io Sky. Yeah. Io Sky.
I'm naming her. I don't feel that I am. I feel that was done by a corporate thing.
Yeah, I kind of feel that way too. But so Io, Rhea Ripley, and Bianca Belair. Now, okay, I have been a huge fan of Rhea Ripley for years. I have been a huge fan of Bianca Belair for years. I have been waiting for those two because they are. It's like the mega powers exploding in the 80s, only more interesting because it's women. And one of them is not Hulk Hogan. They can both wrestle. And one of them is not Hulk Hogan. But it's like, this is like the mega powers exploding for me. You know, I've been waiting to see the two of them go head to head. And I've been like so impressed with Io Sky. Even though she's been like booked really weak. Like she's kind of an afterthought, even though she has the title. And I don't know. I feel like they're kind of doing that on purpose to a point because it's like Bianca and Rhea want to go after each other, and Io is the thing that is standing, you know, in the middle of them that they keep pushing out of the way, literally during promos. And like we both know who we think is going to win, who we want to win is.
Io.
Yes, we're both on the Io side. We want to see her retain her title just because she's been such an afterthought, and she's been you know, kind of the least important person in the in the title match, being the person with the title. So we want to see her kind of beat the pants off of both of them.
I when it was thought of it after WrestleMania, and when we thought it was going to be Belair and Ripley, I felt like, oh, this is going to be like the women's Rock Austin.
Yes.
And if it had gone that way, it should have been totally built up like a Rock Austin thing. But with Io in the scene and the way that Io's been booked and the way that the story's been written, she almost comes off like a Daniel Bryan in this situation.
Yeah, even when she had the title the first time around, when
it was Damage Control.
Well, yeah, when Bayley was still with Damage Control and Asuka, you know, and Kyrie, and they were the whole big group. Even then, she was kind of an afterthought. You know, it was sort of more the Bayley show or the Asuka show. You know, so I feel like not just like, I want to see her come out on top of this match because I want people to remember Io has the title and she deserves it, you know. But also, you know, you have these powerhouse styles of Rhea and Bianca. They're both very, very strong, very tough. They're good movers, but Io has it's basically like a Magic the Gathering game, you know. Io has the card with flight, and Bianca and Rhea do not, which means that she has an advantage.
I think it can wind up being the surprise, so like the show stealer of the night. I think it could offset the world title match.
This is the match that I'm waiting for the most. This is the one that I'm excited for the most for all of WrestleMania. I can't wait to see it. It's gonna be a slobber knocker, as Gorilla Monsoon would say.
No, that's Jim Ross.
Oh yeah, that's JR.
Yeah.
Sorry guys. It's gonna be a slobber knocker, as JR would say. Yes. It's gonna be really, really good. So if you can only watch one match at WrestleMania this year, make it that one.
Do you have something wrong with your erectable protuberance? That's a gorilla.
Yeah, I'm gonna punch you in the breadbasket. Also a gorilla. Anyway, okay. So then we move on to the women's tag championships. It's gonna be
Sue really wanted to see the one Sue didn't really want to see.
Yeah. I like Raquel Rodriguez. I've liked her since NXT.
You're like one of the 4 people.
Yeah. I can't stand Liv Morgan. I think that she... Anyway, so it's going to be Liv Morgan and Raquel Rodriguez versus Bayley and Lyra Valkyria, who are not a tag team, yet somehow won against a bunch of actual tag teams and a bunch of other people that they just stuck together. I did not like that match. I didn't pay attention to it. I knew Lyra and Bayley were going to win the gauntlet. As soon as they brought Shayna Baszler out as the second one, Shayna Baszler is like a legit badass and one of the coolest people in the WWE, and I love her so much. Oh my god. And I've been so annoyed. And Zoe Stark is great too. Zoe Stark is really good. But they get the shit end of the stick all the time. And I knew as soon as Shayna was the first match, nope, it's going to be Lyra and Bayley. I knew it. I didn't even bother watching it, honestly. I was bored.
This is, to me, whenever the tag team belts being used as a prop to enhance a solo singles angle.
Yes.
And
that's annoying because there's a lot of really good tag teams in the WWE.
It was done to me like the earliest incursion of this is like in the late 90s was, I would say, when Austin and Shawn Michaels were tag team champions in order to like propel that storyline together. And it's been done quite a few times. I think Shawn Michaels and John Cena were tag team champions again.
Especially what's worse is when they have two people who are diametrically opposed to each other, and who don't like each other, and they force them to be tagged just for the drama of the situation.
If you have a good tag team, tag team scene, it makes your tag teams look weak, and when the guys leave, they're there to pick up the pieces. If you have a weak tag team scene, it makes it even more non-existent because basically it's there. You have it feels like one of those like there's an arcade WWE. I think it was like WWE Superstars where you just put you would put 2 wrestlers and then you would fight whoever they had as like the tag team champions. I think it was like Andre and DiBiase or something like that at the time. That being said, it was just it's stupid.
It's like you have perfectly good tag teams who use actual tag team moves, who work together, who have chemistry, who
Carter and Chance basically like that entire gauntlet. Almost everybody else.
They're so tiny, but they're really good, and they were like the only legit tag team that was there. They should be in WrestleMania. They're critically underused. But Liv Morgan annoys me. I remember when she first won the belt the first time. When she won Money in the Bank, but didn't she?
She won Money in the Bank. She cashed it in.
She got the belt.
What's her name?
And I was like, hey, this is cool. She's green. She's up and coming. Let's see what she does. Let's see where she goes. She didn't go anywhere. She has not gotten better. Literally, the only move she has is like knocking people over and hitting them with her knees in different variations. I cannot stand Liv Morgan. But, I can't stand her voice either. But you know what? I like what she's been doing with Judgment Day. That's the only good thing I can say about Liv Morgan. I've been enjoying her as a heel with Judgment Day. Raquel Rodriguez. I like Raquel Rodriguez. I saw her in NXT. I was happy when she came over. Obviously, she's gone through a few different tag team partners. And I like her and Aaliyah, right? Was her first one. They were a really good tag team because, Aaliyah is really tiny. She's like a tumbler. Raquel is tall, strong. She's like a powerhouse. She could literally pick up her partner and throw her at people, and it worked well. And they do kind of have that dynamic with Liv and Raquel.
There was also shipping some fan fiction there.
Yeah, I think Aaliyah had a thing for Raquel because she'd always like smack her on the butt when they'd come out. It was cute. They would have been a cute couple. Anyway, but you know, I don't know. They work fine together. I find Liv to be an uninspired wrestler. I don't care. It's fine. Bailey, Valkyria. Bailey obviously is a legend. Lyra Valkyria has been pushed hard. She is the white meat babyface to end all white meat babyface. She is a white meat babyface the way we have absolutely no color on our skin right now because of the sun. And she's fine. She's a good performer. She's so boring on the mic, but she's a good wrestler. But they're not a tag team. You have tag teams. Build up your tag teams. Oh my God.
Yeah, for me, it's like I said earlier. It's from the way I'm seeing it. I'm saying Bailey and Valkyria are going to win it, but they're basically going to be champions for a little while,
like transitional champs
for a little bit, and then basically it's going to be used as the belts are going to be used as a prop to slowly break them up, and then have Bailey challenge for Valkyria's championship. Now, whether that means Bailey goes heel again.
I don't want to see that. She's been doing that.
Valkyria goes heel. I don't know.
Oh, God. Can you imagine?
Maybe it'll be an improvement.
It could only be an improvement.
Yeah,
I like Lyra Valkyria. She's good. She's a good wrestler. She's just so boring. She has no personality. And she's comes out with the bird wings. She's supposed to be representing the Morgan. The Morgan would be bored as fuck with her. I would like to see her as a heel. I would give it a shot.
People in the audience go, woo!
Yeah. They like the audience participation.
Yeah, that's basically they see it. Oh, wow, that means it's going to sell props, right?
Yeah.
I don't see what management sees in her. I don't. She's not a bad wrestler.
No, she's a wrestler.
Boring on the mic.
She is. She really doesn't have any personality. She's Goldberg with less of a temper.
I wouldn't say put her in Goldberg. I just feel
she's boring.
Yeah,
she's boring and has no personality.
That part, yes.
Yes. So I don't know. I want to pick Morgan and Rodriguez just because they are an actual tag team.
Yeah.
But I think they're using the belts to prop up Valkyria and Bailey. So I'm going to go with Valkyria and Bailey, grudgingly. I'm not happy about it. All right. 4-way IC Championship. I dropped my pen again. Damn it.
This one looks like it.
This is going to be a good match.
Yeah.
I think it has the potential to be maybe not the match of the night because there's already going to be a match of the night.
That's going to be a hard predictor.
Really good.
That's a hard predictor because
I think they're going to give it to either
I'm going to say
Dom or Penta. I want to say Penta, but it might be Dom, and they might be using it to break up the Judgment Day. So I don't think Breaker's going to hold on to it. Personally, he's had it for a good run. Ron Breaker he's a tough son of a bitch. He's had it for I have to do the Steiner math in order to figure out how long he's had it for. 303 days, something like that.
How many Samoa Joes? Anyway, I think the brand split, not the brand, but the draft is coming up. I think again, Breaker will probably wind up getting traded and sent down to SmackDown. I say.
So you think
there's something that popped into my head earlier? We were talking about the U.S. title scene, and LA Knight gets traded to Raw, and you have Jacob Fatu as the U.S. champ. I think a perfect opponent for him would be Braun Breaker.
Oh, that would be.
I agree that Breaker will probably not too long afterwards get traded to SmackDown.
Yeah, I think he's definitely, no matter what happens, I think he's definitely going to drop.
I don't think it's going to be Balor. I don't think it's going to
be Balor either.
I think they've been building. I kind of would like to see Dom.
I do too. I kind of want to see Dom with the title.
You know what? I'm going to pick Dom.
I think you should.
I'm going to pick Dom. Penta will not be involved in the decision. It will further the breakup of the Judgment Day.
I think they're going to.
And they'll set up like Balor for a little bit, but eventually maybe have him drop the title to Penta at SummerSlam.
Interesting. Yeah. Like, I kind of want to see Dom do it, but my guess is Penta is going to get it. They've been booking him pretty strong. They might, as we've seen with people in NXT, they've brought in big names and given them a pretty quick run at the belts. Julia, Stephanie Vaquer, Alio, Ethan Page. I know I'm missing one, but I think they might be trying to do that with Penta too. We'll see. I don't know. All right. The Sin City Street Fight with Priest and McIntyre. I don't know who's going to win, but it's going to be good. Priest and McIntyre, excellent performers. We already talked about how much I love Drew McIntyre. I'm a big Damian Priest fan too. I think he is a fantastic
What was that the
performer.
name they were giving to Damian Priest? Metrosexual Undertaker?
Yeah, I can see it. He's pretty. He has nice hair. Actually, I liked him better when I first started watching. He had like the big hair with like the yarn ties in it and stuff. That was really cool because he's consistently got my vote for best hair on WWE a couple of years running there. Like, it's going to be a great match. Whoever wins, I think Priest is going to win. Personally,
yeah, I think.
You think so?
I'm going to go with Priest as well. I feel McIntyre at this point is sort of propping other people up.
But he kind of has been, yeah.
And I feel again a brand switch is he just went over to SmackDown not too long ago. So I feel,
did he? Yeah. I have no idea. I can't keep track of it.
Just went over to SmackDown, so I think he's safe for a brand switch. That being said, I think he also might be in contendership for at least the U.S. title.
I think they'll give him another title run sometime soon. Yeah. Maybe this year or later, maybe next year. But I think that it's going to be coming for him.
He's strong for like Money in the Bank that usually happens like a month or two after WrestleMania.
Yeah.
I think Priest will be in the mix. I don't think he'll win. I think he's already had his moment with the briefcase.
Yeah.
I generally would like to see either LA Knight or Braun Breaker walk around with the case. I'm torn between seeing either one. I feel like both would handle it pretty well. In terms of being on the mic and storyline, I feel Knight could handle a briefcase run with it pretty well. I think Breaker would be in terms of just the pure optics of it. Like challenging somebody like Cody, or if Jay walks as a champ. I would like to see Braun as a world champion on either brand.
Absolutely.
But that being said, my money is if I were to bet money, I would probably throw it on Damian Priest.
Yeah, I think so. I think so. Then we have two non-title bouts. Orton versus we don't know.
Somebody.
He's thinking Solo Sikoa. I think that's a good guess. I think Nick Aldis is going to get in the ring.
I'm probably saying Solo.
So nobody, since we don't know yet who it's going to be.
We're just going to say who it's going to be.
Yeah, and we'll get, I don't know. It remains to be seen. And then the last match is AJ Styles, the phenomenal one, who lives up to his name, and a fucking twat of a tourist, Logan Paul. I hate Logan
everybody
Paul.
In the audience that's listening right now. It's called Sue has it down as Little Twat.
I have it written down Styles versus Little Twat.
Yeah,
I know who it is. He's a little twat.
Yeah,
fucking hate that guy. Logan Paul is a piece of shit. He's a terrible human being. Seriously, don't spend your time and money on that douchebag. He's an awful person. I'm gonna give it to Styles just because I want it to be Styles, and Logan Paul is a twat, and I hate him, and I hope that he gets buried 10 feet under the fucking ring. Preferably by Brock Lesnar's fucking tractor.
I want to give it to Styles. I've been an AJ Styles fan
The guy was
probably
awesome.
for 15, 16, ever since I was watching him on TNA 2005 or 6. One of the best wrestlers of the modern era of the
Absolutely.
last 25 years. One of the most decorated wrestlers.
He is phenomenal.
But I'm gonna go against my own, and I'm gonna say Logan Paul's gonna win.
I'm gonna put his frowny face on that.
I'm going against my better angels.
I mean, it's definitely a possibility. He cheats a lot, and he has stock in the company. You know, he's the majority stockholder of Prime, and Prime has a lot of gives a lot of funding to WWE. So basically, he gets to just come in and say what he wants, and they do it.
He feels like a nepo baby without being a nepo.
Yeah, he really does. Yeah, which furthers my distaste for him.
It's definitely some form of I guess another thing, like corporate nepotism. I guess
it kind of is. Yeah, like he buys his way in to the scene. Yeah. He doesn't get there through passion and hard work and commitment and dedication and discipline. He's just like, I have money, I have a name, let me do stuff.
I can't say he's a terrible wrestler in the ring. If he was a terrible
wrestler, not awful.
If he was a terrible wrestler in WWE at this point, no matter how much money, would not be putting him in high profile.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
He had no skill whatsoever.
He has skill. He has ability.
He does it. This is far. I will not give him half as much devil's advocate as I gave to Charlotte Flair. He is an asshole. He deserves to go. He is causing the burial of other wrestlers who clearly deserve what he is getting.
There is someone else who deserves this.
He's getting to cut the line.
Yes, he is. Yes.
I would rather see Chelsea Green in some sort of WrestleMania match.
God, I wish Chelsea Green was in WrestleMania.
Right.
I love Chelsea Green. But, and she has a fucking title, and yet you're making room for this idiot. Yeah. And Randy Orton, who doesn't even have, and that sucks. And like the news of KO, like that's tough, man. Yeah. That's awful. But at the same time, you have a title holder that doesn't have a title match at WrestleMania. Yeah. Come on, guys.
Literally, every other champion is there, and every other other than the women's IC belt is getting defended.
Yeah,
and it kind of sucks, especially those are the two baby belts at this point, and kind of need could use a good WrestleMania push to enhance things. And again, also not the presence of Andre the Giant Memorial Battle Royal. It's on SmackDown, which is fine. It's fine.
It should be on WrestleMania. They deserve WrestleMania coverage too.
Everybody should have a little spot.
Like, they should, yes. It's that's another thing. It's bloated, but it's also exclusive.
Yeah.
How? I don't know. Anyway, okay. So NXT Stand and Deliver is also going to be on Saturday. We are not going to be live broadcasting it because
that's just too exhausting.
Oh my god, no, dude, come on.
We have to go to the bathrooms. We have to make our dinner for WrestleMania.
Yes, but and the title matches are the match card. Excuse me, is not fully set for that. It should be done on Tuesday, but we are missing a few people. So we're going to kind of go through what we have so far. The NXT Championship is a 3-way with Obafemi, Trick Williams, and Javon Evans. You know what? I got to give Javon Evans a lot of credit in the last 6-man tag match from last week.
He's kind of being
He did really well. Like, he was the star of that match, hands down. He's so young
with Shirai.
Yeah, he's so young, but he's really come a long way. Mm-hmm. And I think he's still going to get his face stomped in by Obafemi. Actually, I can't say that about him because he literally did have his face stomped in by, was it Ethan Page that did it?
Yeah.
So, sorry, Javon. No, I'll use a different turn of phrase. I think he's going to get his face. I think that it's going to be a really good match. Obafemi, of course, I want to see him drop the title and come to the main roster because that dude is awesome. I also want to see Trick Williams come to the main roster because that dude is also awesome. But Obafemi, like, damn, he's like the next Tiffany Stratton. You know, super natural. Super athletic, good in the
He's
ring, good on the
over with
mic.
crowd.
Oh, so over with the crowd. Yes, he needs to just he should have been the one to skip the line. Honestly,
If
I'm uncomfortable here.
it's weird because I feel Femi and Williams are, especially Williams at this point, is like destined to be called up to the main roster.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Williams is so white hot.
Yeah, he should be. He should be coming up. He is ready. He's.
I kind of wonder if Williams gets called up, will he renew his feud with Carmelo Hayes? Because Carmelo Hayes,
that would be good. Or are they going to be friends? Is Carmelo become humbled by his time? And probably not, because he's with the Miz now. And
I thought maybe that the next thing will drive him over. It's like, I gotta get back with Trick, man, because it sucks.
Yeah, you know what? That could be it. Because Miz is just that annoying. So I don't know.
I would love to see him brought up, because I would love to see him get put up against.
You could put him against all the. You could put him against Braun Strowman. Who's the Australian guy with the danger titties?
Danger titties?
Yeah, he's New Zealand or New Zealander, or he's Australian.
Oh, he's Australian, I believe. Yeah, he's on the injured list right now.
Yeah, what's his name?
I'm trying to remember.
Oh my god.
His tsunami.
Yes, that guy. It starts with, he has similar. His name still has a B in it. Because it's Braun Strowman, Braun Breaker, Bronson Reed. That's it. Yes, I want to see Oba go up against Bronson Reed. I want to see him go up against Braun Breaker. I want to see him go up against Jacob Fatu. I want to see he would be a strong opponent against Fatu for a US belt. Any of the big heavy hitters that they've got, any of the big guys, and it would be a hell of a match. It would be great. I'm who's it? So like from the Big East, it's like I'm not much for the flippy guys. I'm more for the big. I'm opposite. I'm usually for the guys that are like your technical wrestlers and your high flyers. But I don't mean players on the men's. I like the powerhouse on the women's.
For me, it's like I will not deny the attraction of seeing two big horses knock the fuck out of each other.
It's true. It's great.
And I think if Fatu wins the U.S. title, Jacob Fatu wins the U.S. belt, I would love to see a Femi Fatu.
That would be amazing. Yes, that would be a hell of a match.
So, man. Who do you put the NXT belt on? Do you have Femi get it and then basically have to surrender to the title not long afterwards? Because, like, Evans, I
have a feeling
Evans I like Evans. He's a great wrestler.
Yes,
I don't think he could be NXT champion at this point.
I think it's too early for him.
He needs, he needs like a North American run in at least 2 years to get his promo.
I mean, he's right on track, though. He's doing really good. I think they might be pushing him a little bit too far, too fast, but maybe this is them. Maybe it's going to be like a Kalani Jordan thing where, yes, he's a little green, but they want to put it on and see what he can do, especially because they might be bringing Femi and Williams up. I don't know. I'm going to go with – I want to go with Oba Femi because I really like Oba Femi, and I want him and Nikita Lyons to get together and have, like, super powered genius babies to be the most beautiful babies in the entire universe. It would be like the start of the eugenics war from Star Trek. Yeah. They would be like our super baby overlords because they would be so perfect. But you know what? I'm gonna go with a DQ. I don't think anybody's gonna get the belt. Or I don't think the belt's gonna change hands.
Well, Femi to retain.
Okay. All right. NXT Women's Championship 4-way match. Stephanie Vaquer, Julia, Jordan Grace, and Jada Parker. I love Jada Parker. I've been super impressed with her. She's been the only homegrown NXT girl in this match. I've been really, really impressed with her. I've been really enjoying her work. I want to see Jada Parker retain just because she gain the belt. Thank you. Just because she was not an outsider. She came up through the NXT system. Although, I think Stephanie Vaquer is great. I think Jordan Grace is great. And I think Julia is great. I don't, I'd like to see Jada Parker get it, but I think this is a tough one. What do you think?
I don't think it's going to be Parker.
I don't think it's probably not going to be Parker, unfortunately. As much as I'd love to see that.
The smart money is either on Julia or Grace to take the belt.
I'm thinking they might give Grace a run.
I feel like it's going to be
been built up pretty well.
Grace. Grace has. I want to go with Grace with this one because
I'm going to go with Grace
I think there's also way too much temptation to bring Vakir, at least Vakir, if not Vakir and Julia, up to the main roster.
That's a good point too. Yeah.
I don't know about Julia so much because Julia has multiple contracts with wrestling in Mexico, wrestling in Japan.
Oh, does she?
Yeah.
I didn't know she still had those.
But she has multiple offers to go wrestle in Mexico and Japan. And
so she might not
be. She might jump ship after NXT and come back. It might be a come and go thing with her. Also, like they said, there was a. Rock was in some sort of video on, I think, TikTok or something like that. He was wearing a New Japan T-shirt. So,
do you think there might be
a cross promotional thing coming up? So
that could be fun.
Who knows? I don't know. But for me, I feel like if I was betting in Vegas, I would put it on Jordynne Grace.
I think it's time for Jordynne Grace. I think it's time for them to give her a run.
Parker is there, so none of these people, the other three.
I think she's there.
She's there to get pinned. I'm sorry.
Yeah, it's true. I hate to say it, but because I'd love to see Jada Parker take the whole thing, but I think she is there to be the weakling.
Yeah, so none of the others get pinned and look weak.
Yeah. Okay, Women's North American Championship. There's still 2 spots on that. It's going to be a 6-person. We have Zarya. Who is that? I have Jordan down. Kalani Jordan. Thank you. Sol Ruka, Izzy Dame, and there's still 2 spots on that. So it's hard to guess who's going to be.
Yeah.
But I'm assuming that the winner of the match is in the first 4 picks so far. It's going to be weird to see. I've been enjoying the Zarya Sol Ruka tag team and friendship that's been going on. I think Izzy Dame has a good shot. They've been booking her a lot, pretty strong lately. Kalani Jordan always has a shot, since she held the belt at a pretty young age for her time in NXT. I think that's always a possibility. I think that I'm going to go with Sol Ruka, though, because I think Sol Ruka, of all of them, is the best out of the group. I think she's the more established out of the group. I just don't want to see it break up. I don't want to see it break up the tag team that she has with Zarya, because I've been kind of enjoying that. Maybe it'll go to Izzy Dame. I don't know. I'm going to pick Sol, but...
I guess out of the four, I'll probably take Zarya. That being said, I wish Jason Jane was involved in this.
Oh my God.
I don't know.
I would love to, God, why can't they put a belt on JC Jane? She's so good. And the freaking cowgirl had the belt for, I don't remember her name, I don't care. She had the belt for like a couple of months, and she's terrible. And Jasmine Nix, they put in this North American Championship bout, and she lost, of course, because she's also terrible. But JC Jane, she's so good. She deserves a title run, a solo title run. She definitely does. Maybe
I don't know if Roxanne Perez is involved in the last 2.
She might be. I'm not real sure. I can't remember.
I feel like Roxanne Perez is another one that might get called up to the main roster.
I think she definitely could.
I feel like she's done her time.
Absolutely. She's done it really well too.
There's really nothing left for her at this point. She's won the title at least 2-3 times, something like that. At least twice.
I can't remember any more than that. But, yeah, I mean, it's time for her to go up. And again, we still have 2 spots on that we won't know about until tomorrow. So, we could be totally wrong on both of those. All right, the Men's North American Championship. It's Ricky Saints versus whoever wins the Fatal 4-Way tomorrow, and that is going to be Alexis King, Wesley, Ethan Page, and Eddie Thorpe. This is going to be a tough one.
I'm going to say it's going to be, Page will be the person who winds up being there.
And then who do you think is going to win between Saints and Page? I think Saints is going to win the whole thing.
I'm going to say Saints, that they've already banked on him.
Yes, they have.
And Page might be another guy that gets called up to the main roster. I feel like...
I think that it might come down to Eddie Thorpe or Wesley.
I feel...
I'm going to say Wesley is going to win the Fatal 4-Way and go to Stand and Deliver against Ricky Saints. But I think Ricky Saints...
I feel like Page has been slumming it in NXT. Like...
Yeah, he kind of has. He's
a great heel. He's one of the absolute best on the mic that they have there.
All right, and then we have the tag team champions. Fraxium is going to face whoever wins the gauntlet match tomorrow. It's going to be a big episode tomorrow. It's Hank and Tank, No Quarter Catch Crew, The Culling, Briggs and Inamura, and Tyson and Tyrek, who I don't know who the hell they are. The two guys that...
the two like African American dudes.
Yeah, they were like football players, I think. Yeah. I don't know. I don't think they're ready for the big time yet, because you can't remember who they are half the time. I want to see Hank and Tank win this entire thing. I think Hank and Tank are excellent. I think they could go up to the main roster, quite frankly.
I think Hank and Tank will win the gauntlet, and Hank and Tank will take the belts.
You think so?
Because I feel Fraxium has done its bit.
I think they're ready to give up the belts. Yeah, I think
they at least need to get the belts off them and onto somebody else. I think Hank and Tank need the belts more than Fraxium do. I think
they get beat a lot though. It's annoying because they're a really solid tag team and they get beat by people who are very, very green. Yeah. And that's annoying. Yeah. So you know what? I don't know. The guy who's with Inamura, the guy who's with Josh Briggs, I don't like Josh Briggs. Mm-hmm. I didn't like him when he was in his last tag team group.
He strikes me as a Trump supporter.
I don't like him. Inamura is really good. I'd like to see him get a solo run. No Quarter Catch Crew, yeah, they're fine. They're definitely not the standouts of the group. The Culling, new, and the guy that was with Josh Briggs, what was his name? They were in a tag team. Yeah, Tony Hobo. They were in a tag team together. I don't like that guy either. I didn't like that whole faction. I found them really annoying. Yeah, you know what? I'm gonna go with Hank and Tank too, just because I want to manifest Hank and Tank taking the belts.
I feel Fraxium is either going to break up finally, or they get called up as well.
Or both, perhaps. All right. And then we're on the last page here, and it is almost 6. Oh, my God. So there's going to be a roast with comedian Tony Hinchcliffe, who is super racist against Puerto Ricans. And quite frankly, I will not be happy unless Damian Priest comes out and suplexes him through the roast table, the dais.
His last name,
fuck that guy.
His last name alone sounds like some sort of like anal disorder. I got a Hinchcliffe.
Oh, stay away from me.
Oh man, I haven't been able to pass anything through there in days. Hinchcliffe.
Yeah, that guy really sucks. So that's
Trumpstick.
Yeah, he's probably going to be the guy that they hire for the reporters' dinner at the White House, the correspondence dinner. But he's going to be just because I don't think Trump would be able to deal with somebody roasting him for real. So this guy's just going to come and suck his dick probably. Yeah, but
it's going to be like an hour and a half before I show.
Yeah. But honestly, like,
to keep his Trump's stomach up so it doesn't like absolutely fall in.
Like, honestly,
you're better than Melania. Oh.
Okay, well, let's go back to the rest because it's almost 6 and we gotta wrap this up pretty soon. I don't know. I don't want to watch the roast because this guy's a racist piece of shit.
I'm kind of mixed. I kind of want to see the train wreck.
Yeah. Oh, I want to see it. If it's going to be a train wreck, I would watch it.
But maybe there are other comedians that come on there. But if it's just other WWE guys roasting each other, like, dude, you got to work with those guys.
Yeah.
I kind of want to see when it comes out, and if you're not around, I'll probably go and watch it myself. I'm dead curious.
Yeah, I will sit through it if Tony Hinchcliffe dies a horrible death on stage.
I want to see it. I want to see it the way that, like, I wanted to see Velocipaster or
Lamageddon address.
Like I say the union. I want to see the train wreck. I want to see how bad can get.
Oh yeah,
from a safe distance with the ability to turn the remote control off if they need be. That's my curiosity for this. As a fan of comedy and as somebody who writes comedy, I want to see what it's like for somebody that clearly does not deserve to get paid this much money and put on TV.
Yeah. We're hoping that it will end up like Hulk Hogan in LA.
Yeah.
And the booze will be extraordinary and magnificent.
Yeah. That's what I'm hoping for, too.
Yes. All right. There's also this weekend the Hall of Fame inductions. So let's see. Lex Luger is being inducted by DDP. DDP is a good dude. I can't be mad at him, but Lex Luger is a piece of shit, and he should have been left in his fucking wheelchair. That's all I have to say. He basically murdered Miss Elizabeth with neglect and copious amounts of drugs, and he's a fucking piece of shit, and I hate him. What do you think of Lex Luger?
He pretty much summed it up for me. And took away all my words we could say about him.
Yeah. Triple H.
How about Tiny Dick?
There you go. From all the steroids. Yeah. Triple H is going to be inducted by Shawn Michaels. I know some people are like, oh, of course he's going to be put in there, he's in charge of the company. But I think he deserves a solo induction. No, wait. How do they? I think he deserves a solo induction. He
deserves it.
Yeah. And him and Shawn Michaels
deserve it. Like, his career speaks for itself, and he absolutely deserves to be in the Hall of Fame. The Rock is there. Kane is there. Undertaker's there. Every single one of his major contemporaries.
He deserves a solo Hall of Fame.
Yeah, absolutely.
Right. Absolutely.
I cannot issues with it. Does it have the optics of preferential treatment?
A little bit. Yeah, a little bit. But it's the guy in charge of the company now, so it's hard
not to make that assertion.
Yeah.
That being said, I believe in I'm a fan of dichotomies. Like, two things can be true at the same time. Two things that diametrically oppose each other can be true at the same time. And this is one of those situations. He absolutely deserves it, but it does slightly look
like on the scale.
A little bit. Like, he said he had no idea it was going to happen. Everybody was like,
that's, I believe him.
I believe him. I believe him.
Somebody who does not deserve it. Michelle McCool. They're inducting. Taker is inducting his wife, the boringest woman on the planet who used to wear costumes that looked like recycled Bible covers. Yeah. I don't think Michelle McCool.
She looked like a groupie for a Christian band.
She really did. Oh my God. And she wrestled like one too. Right. And then the Natural Disasters, Fred Ottman, and one of my favorites, John Tenta. I love John Tenta. Woo!
When is the Shockmaster going to be inducted on his own merit? That's what I want to know. When will justice be served for the Shockmaster?
There's a TBD on that one. Dan had
T-shirt, Justice for the Shockmaster.
There you go. Shockmaster brand windows.
Yeah. Shockmaster brand walls.
There. So that is TBD. Dan had a great suggestion that the War Raiders should induct them. I like that. But I definitely, I'm a big John Tenta fan. I'm a big fan of the Natural Disasters. I think this is awesome. Way to go, guys. And then there is a match Bret Hart versus Austin at WrestleMania 13.
This is a new category.
This is a new thing they're doing. They won't induct China into the Hall of Fame as a solo induction, but they'll induct matches. And Sunny is still in, even though she did porn and committed vehicular homicide. No China, though, because Stephanie McMahon is a fucking piece of shit. Fuck you, Stephanie McMahon. Okay.
But if you want to come on the show and do a double thing with Charlotte, then we'll reach out. I just want to say, we'll give you a forum to, debate anything that Sue or I have said about you.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. I will eventually. But.
Fuck you, Stephanie McMahon. I'll tell it to your face.
Yeah.
But, so I don't know. I actually watched this match. I've been marathoning the WrestleManias. I actually just watched this match earlier this afternoon. Yeah, it's really good. It's a weird idea to induct a match into, but okay, whatever. I don't know. CM Punk is doing the inducting. Whatever. I don't know. Legacy inductees. We still haven't figured out what that meant. We think it means people who were instrumental that were really made their names.
Not necessarily,
but were instrumental in wrestling.
Yeah.
Ivan Koloff, Kamala, and Dory Funk Sr. Who, they're all pretty good.
Kamala will get his credit for doing the fucky.
Yes. There's this great, not aired.
Go around, look on YouTube.
Yes. Mean Gene interviewing Kamala, and he's like, Kamala, why were you late? And Kamala says he was back at the hotel, and he's like, Gene was like, what were you doing? And he's like, fucky. It's hilarious. Go watch it. It's on YouTube.
And Iron Sheik berates a live turkey. That was funny. Turkey.
Oh, Sheiky. I miss Sheiky. I love him.
Hulk Hogan.
And then, oh my God, that is all of my notes. Look at all of these notes. I took all the notes today. All right. Actually, no, I do have another last order of business. Dan got his Pro Wrestling Illustrated, and it's the WWE era. So I thought that was, they had some good stuff I wanted to bring up.
How do you Pro Wrestling Illustrated? Where's our money?
Right?
Where's that sweet Pro Wrestling Illustrated cash?
There were a couple things I wanted to point out in this month's issue, or this quarter's issue.
I think it's quarterly.
They had a great.
They can't see it.
You can't see that. Okay. So there's a great review of the movie Queen of the Ring, which is coming out. It's the story of Mildred Burke.
Who invented gunpowder?
Okay.
No.
The story of Mildred Burke and the rise of women's wrestling. And it stars a lot of actual wrestlers. Toni Storm, most notably. Toni Storm is so freaking cool. Oh my God. Also, Naomi is going to be in it. Jim Cornette makes an appearance, and Walter Goggins is in it. Walter Goggins obviously is not a wrestler, but he's it's still a movie. But it's a really lovely piece about it, written by Karen Peterson. It's an excellent review. It really, I wanted to watch it anyway, but it made me really, really want to watch it. So. And let's see. The Quick Count by Al Castle brings up a really good point. And I want to give a shout out to Al Castle for this. He's talking about the AEW Revolution. He's talking about the match with Toni Storm and Mariah May. Just amazing storytelling there, amazing match. So it says, the mid-show match placement wasn't the only way Toni Storm and Mariah May were done a disservice at Revolution. Oh, wait a minute. Oh, okay. I messed up here. Apology not... addressing his confounding decision not to have the women's world title match go on in the main event slot of Revolution, AEW boss Tony Khan stuck an apologetic tone, saying hindsight's always 20/20. Apology not accepted. This is not a case of Monday morning quarterbacking. The rubber match between Toni Storm and Mariah May should have been the obvious pick to close out the March 8th event, especially given the unique Hollywood-ending match stipulation. As the Timeless One lay victorious on top of May center stage, the words "the end" fittingly appeared on a screen behind them. It was a satisfying climax to AEW's hottest feud of the last year. And in fact, all of wrestling, quite frankly. all of professional wrestling. And it went on fourth to last. 6 years into its existence, AEW has yet to headline a pay-per-view with women, despite more than once having a women's title match with far more fan intrigue than the main event men's match. That was certainly the case at Revolution 2025. Khan had the opportunity to make a real statement by having one of the biggest women's matches in AEW history headline a pay-per-view during Women's History Month. Xavier, if I knew then what I do now, you did know it. And you know what? I really have to give Al Castle a lot of credit for this. That it does suck. This is something that I've noticed far more in WWE, with the exception of NXT, which we'll get to. But excuse me, NXT does not build their women's matches properly, in my opinion. I don't think I've ever seen a pay-per-view or a premium live event, where the women's match has been the main event. It always ends on a men's match. And most times Raw and SmackDown, it almost always 95% of the time ends on a men's match, even if the women's match was the more interesting. Then the headlining women's match of the night was the more interesting than the headlining men's match. And I've noticed AEW during their televised shows, they are better at that. They do have women's matches being the main event more often. But again, in premium live event, or did they just call them pay-per-view events?
Premium live events. Well, it would be pay-per-view.
The birds are back in the hole in the wall. Shut up, birds!
It's pay-per-view on them because they actually do have pay-per-views.
Okay. So on the AEW pay-per-views, it's like we don't really get a chance to watch them, but again, it's the same problem. It's like I want to see women doing the main event match. I don't understand why we can't get there, why this isn't a regular thing. This is not the Divas era where Vince is in charge and is basically a bunch of models with no wrestling ability.
And bra and panties and mud match.
Yeah, and it's not, I don't know. It's time. There's no reason why we can't have this. And I'm glad that Al Castle called this out. It is important. The one thing I do have to say is Ava Raine, being in charge of NXT, has done a hell of a job with NXT is the one brand in WWE that is not doing this, that has women's matches being the main event at the end of the episode and at the end of PLVs, premium live events. I'm getting all my letters mixed up. Yeah.
OPP.
And I have to give her credit and the whole team at NXT credit for building up a great women's division, adding in multiple belts for them, just like the men's division, and also for yes, I wish they did too. I really wish they would. That's the next thing they need to bring back. Bring back the NXT women's tag belts, but for really spotlighting women's wrestling better than pretty much any AEW title, any other WWE title. So you know what? Good on you, Ava. You rock. And Shawn Michaels, obviously too. And then there was a small article about Maxine Dupree in this. And you know what? I have been really impressed by Maxine Dupree. She was given just crappy gimmicks. Her and LA Knight were both given crappy gimmicks. It's the Maximum Male Models, who are now on AEW.
Maximum Male Models were given a horrible.
They were too. 4 people all given just the worst gimmick.
Yeah.
And, then she joined up with Alpha Academy, and I love them so much. They're like my babies. I love them. And I'm a big fan of Maxine Dupree, and she has been working her tail off, really practicing and learning. She's gotten so much better, and, she's putting in the work, and she's putting in the effort, and she has the passion and the drive. And her and Akira Tozawa and Otis, they're really making something fantastic. And I am glad. I know that she was getting a lot of fan hate a while ago. And I don't get it. I'm on your side, Maxine. I think you're doing really good. Keep going. That's all I gotta say about that. But yeah, I've been enjoying her. I've been enjoying the Alpha Academy stuff, even though I love an underdog. So, and they are the ultimate underdogs. So they always put a smile on my face whenever I see them. So I'm glad that Maxine is getting a little bit of love here in such a high profile publication. So I'm happy to see that. What do you think of Maxine Dupree?
I like her. She's fine. I think she still needs some work here and there, but I think she's improved quite a bit from that. Like, I think the breakup of the Maximum Male Models was the best thing you could have. They did.
It was the best thing for all of them.
Really. It was a terrible idea that really stagnated 4 separate careers.
Yes, it did. I mean, look at LA Knight. He got released from that, and he just went straight to the top. He had he has been so over, and deservedly so with fans. Maxine also very over. It took her a little bit longer. She's doing really good. Los Lotharios are now on. Are they on TNA or AEW?
Los Lotharios is what the guys over in Legado del Fantasma.
Oh, that's right. No,
the actual Maximum Male Models, I forget the guys' names, but I believe they're over in AEW now.
Yeah.
Either AEW or TNA.
And they're pretty good tag team.
They're still doing their model thing, but they're doing, I think, closer to their terms.
Yes, and they are actually a solid tag team without the constraints of this stupid-ass gimmick that they've got forced. So you know what? Good for all of them. Good for all of them. I'm glad to see it. Oh, also, rankings. Rankings are fun. For period ending March 16th. Ranked...
I bet you're looking for the popularity ones.
Oh, well, we can do popularity. So, most popular. Number 1, Cody Rhodes. Number 2, Tony Storm. Number 3, Jey Uso. Number 4, the Hardys. Pretty high. That's good for them. They had a nice turnout on NXT, and that was pretty cool. Number 5, CM Punk. Number 6, Joe Hendry, I believe. Do you believe?
No, I need some evidence. I haven't seen him, I haven't touched him, if I haven't, smelled him. What does Joe Hendry smell like?
Unicorn farts.
Yeah. If he smells like unicorn, anybody knows what Joe Hendry smells like? If you can, write us or contact us, let us know.
Put it in the comments.
Yeah, come on, people. We need a viewer.
Number 7, Swerve Strickland. Good for him. Number 8, LA Knight. Surprisingly low. Number 9, Will Ospreay. Not surprising. I'm sure he's probably... Number 10, Rhea Ripley. Needs to be higher. Most hated, John Cena has taken number 1. Dominic Mysterio was number 2. Poor Dom. It was like the one thing he had. The heat was all he had. Number 3, Chris Jericho. I admit, the Learning Tree bits with him and Big Bill and the Bad Apple.
Yeah.
They're fun. They're really fun. Okay. Number 4, Tessa Blanchard. I don't know who that is.
She's bad. Real life bad.
She's a jerk or she's a bad wrestler?
She's a jerk in real life, and that's putting it nicely. This is the one that basically is putting out racial slurs and.
Oh God.
TNA just brought her back or something like that. But
why? Are you that desperate, TNA? God damn. I guess they lost Jordan Grace.
Basically, before the whole thing came out, they booked her to be TNA World, the men's world champion. But then basically, one woman came out and basically said what the horrible things she had done while they were on, I believe, on a tour of Japan. And when that came out, a bunch of other people came up and said, "Yeah, Tessa Blanchard's horrible." And some people, she used various racial slurs on people.
And somehow she's lower than John Cena.
Yeah.
Wow. Damn. All right. Number 5, MJF. Not surprising. Number 6, Kevin Owens. Don't hate on Kevin Owens. He's having a rough time right now. We wish you all the best, KO. Number 7, the Death Riders. Yeah. Number 8, Liv Morgan. That's my Seth Rollins laugh for the day. That's not good. It was better the first time. Number 9, Ozawa. Ozawa is with GHC Heavyweight. Or he's a heavyweight champion in Japan.
Yeah.
And number 10, Mercedes Moné. I think that's fair. It's getting late. We've been on here for a little over 2 hours. I was going to go over the rest of the rankings, but they're interesting. Toni Storm is awesome, and Tiffany Stratton and Io Sky, number 1, 2, and 3. Super good choices, guys. But I think we better finish it up here because it's been a while. It's getting late. So we'll see you guys on Saturday for the live stream for Wrestlemania. Definitely.
Yeah. Also, if you guys get a chance, check out our stuff we do outside of this podcast will be in the listing.
Yep.
If not, check out www.21saintsharp.com for all my books.
Come find us on
posters.
Facebook.
Come find us on various social media. I believe we both have merch. You have we both have t-shirts.
There should be a link in our description of our show to get you to everything. So
buy our stuff.
Buy our stuff. We can buy better equipment.
Commerce. Yeah.
So, all right. We will see you guys on Saturday then.
Upgrade itself.
No, it was a laptop. I can't really do that anyway. I'm going to need to get a new laptop. Yeah. But, so we will see you guys on Saturday. Stay tuned. It's going to be a fun time. I'm going to make signs. Yeah. And I'm going to wear my junkyard dog pants and my China shirt. And I'm going to swear at Stephanie McMahon some more. So,
I love Stephanie McMahon, though. She's your favorite person, your favorite women's champion of all time. Bye, everybody.
I want a divorce.
Fair.
All right, bye, everybody. We'll see you on Saturday.